Hello friends, welcome to this session of structure of the atom. In this session we'll be discussing about the drawbacks of Rutherford model and also the model proposed by Bohr for the structure of atom. See, what was the Rutherford model, or what is the Rutherford model of structure of atom? It is that atom consists of a central, very dense and heavy nucleus. Second thing, the electrons are revolving around the nucleus in circular orbits. See, these are revolving around the nucleus. Third thing, that the electrons are revolving at very high speeds. Fourth, that most of the atom is empty and the dense nucleus is present at the center. Now, how is this orbit of electron balanced? It is by the centripetal force and the equal and opposite centrifugal force. This is moving with a very high speed. So centripetal force is due to the force of attraction between the electron and the nucleus. Centrifugal force is the force due to the motion of the nucleus, and it is given by mv square by r. And the centripetal force is the force of attraction between the electron and the nucleus. Now, there are certain drawbacks of this model. So we'll be discussing about the drawbacks of the Rutherford model and the model of structure of atom proposed by Bohr. So let's start our theory session here, students. Now, what are the drawbacks, or what are the drawbacks? See, what is it saying? That the electrons are moving at very high speeds around the nucleus. Now, according to Clerk Maxwell, a charged particle under the influence of attractive force radiates energy. Now, it is moving in a circular motion. When it is moving in a circular motion, it will be accelerated also. It is moving under the influence of the attractive force, that is the attractive force of nucleus. Now, when it is moving, when it is accelerated, it is in accelerated motion and also under the attractive force of nucleus. A charged particle releases energy, or it emits energy in the form of radiation, or you can say emits radiation, and radiation is the form of the energy. Now, as it is emitting radiation, what is happening? The energy of electron is decreasing. First of all, it is moving in a circular motion. When a charged particle is moving in a circular motion, it tends to get accelerated. It goes in an accelerated motion. Now, it is moving under the influence of the attractive force of nucleus. So, what this charged particle does, according to Clerk Maxwell, this will emit radiation, and that is it is the form of energy. Now, as it is emitting radiation, or it's emitting energy, what will happen? There will be loss of energy by electrons. Now, when the energy will reduce, will it be able to sustain the attractive force by nucleus? No. Its energy will gradually decrease, and as a result of which, electron will not be able to sustain the force of attraction of nucleus. So, as the energy decreases, energy of what? Electron decreases, it becomes unable, or it's unable to withstand the attraction of nucleus. Now, as a result of which, what will happen? The electrons will fall into the nucleus, right? Now, Niels Bohr calculated that an atom would collapse in 10 to the power minus 8 seconds. Got my point? So, Niels Bohr calculated that an atom would collapse in 10 to the power minus 8 seconds. But an atom doesn't collapse. It is stable. So, there is some drawback in the Rutherford model of atom. Understood this? A major drawback of Rutherford's model of the atom is that it does not explain the stability of the atom. So when you are writing, this I am reading out so that you can write your answers in a clear manner. The negatively charged electrons are revolving round or around the positively charged nucleus in circular paths. We have seen that image. Any particle in circular orbit would undergo acceleration. So it will get accelerated. According to the electromagnetic theory of physics, if a charged particle undergoes accelerated motion, it will radiate energy continuously. It's according to this Clerk-Maxwell also. The charged particle moving under the influence of the attractive force will continuously lose energy. So the crux is that the electron is losing energy. Now these revolving electrons will lose their energy continuously in the form of radiations. Thus, the energy of revolving electrons will decrease gradually and their speed will also go on decreasing. The electrons will then be attracted more strongly by the positively charged nucleus, due to which they will come more and more closer to the nucleus. And ultimately the electrons should fall into the nucleus by taking a spiral path. Now this should make an atom very unstable and hence the atom should collapse. And I told you that Niels Bohr calculated that an atom would collapse in 10 to the power minus 8 seconds. But atom is stable. So you can write your answer like this also, that an electron is moving in a circular orbit around the nucleus. A charged particle moving in a circular orbit gets accelerated, and a charged particle undergoing an accelerated movement, it will lose energy, that in the form of radiations. Now as it will continuously lose energy, its energy will decrease. Now when the energy will decrease, it will be unable to withstand the force of attraction by the nucleus. Consequently, it will follow a spiral path and fall into the nucleus. Or you can write that according to Clerk-Maxwell, a charged particle moving under the influence of the attractive field or attractive force continuously loses energy in the form of radiation, right? Now as it is losing energy, the energy of the electron is decreasing. Now when the energy of electron is decreasing, it will not be able to follow that circular path. It will be attracted by the nucleus, and following the spiral path, it will just collapse into the nucleus. So this is the drawback of Rutherford model. But see, these are the studies, according to the electromagnetic theories of physics, and these are the studies actually, and these are the fact that a charged particle moving under the influence of the attractive force loses energy. Why? Because it gets accelerated, and an accelerated particle loses energy. or accelerated charged particle, it is losing energy here. So the atom would collapse. But is it so? The atom is not at all collapsing. The atom is stable. So Rutherford was unable to explain the stability of the atom. So this is one of the drawbacks of Rutherford's model. Now Bohr proposed his model of atom. Let's discuss about the Bohr's model of atom. Bohr's model of the atom. Bohr proposed his model in order to explain the hydrogen spectrum. Right? So you'll be discussing about the spectrum or the hydrogen spectrum in details in your higher grades. Here we'll discuss about the Bohr model of the structure of atom. Now according to this model, an atom is made up of 3 particles. Now this is now established fact that the atom is made up of 3 particles: electrons, protons and neutrons. Of them, electrons have the negative charge, protons have the positive charge, whereas neutrons have no charge and they are neutral. Due to the presence of equal number of negative electrons and the positive protons, the atom on the whole is electrically neutral. So this is right. Now what Bohr proposed, what about the arrangement of these electrons and protons in an atom? He suggested his model of the structure of atom. The first point is, the protons and neutrons are located in a small nucleus at the center of the atom, as was proposed by Rutherford also. Due to the presence of protons, nucleus is positively charged. According to Rutherford's alpha scattering experiment also, there is a dense heavy nucleus at the center and the protons and the neutrons are present in the nucleus. Now what about the electrons? So Bohr proposed that the electrons revolve rapidly round the nucleus in fixed circular paths called energy levels or shells or orbitals. Now Bohr is proposing that the electrons are revolving in fixed circular paths. Their path is fixed. Now this particular fixed circular path is called as the energy level or shell or orbital. Now there he proposed that as the planets revolve round the sun, the electrons are revolving round the nucleus. According to Rutherford proposed this. Now he didn't say that it has got any fixed path, it has any path or orbital or anything. They are just moving round in orbits. But here Bohr has suggested that the electrons are moving in fixed circular paths, which are called as energy levels or orbitals or shells. The energy levels or shells are represented in 2 ways, either by the numbers, that is the first energy level, the second energy level, the third energy level and so on and so forth, or by the letters K, L, M, N, O, P. That is, K is the first shell or the first energy level. L is the second shell or second energy level. M is the third shell or third energy level. So the atom can be represented as, or the picture of the atom will be, see this, there is a nucleus at the center of the atom. See, suppose this is an atom, nucleus at the center, and these are different energy levels. This is the first energy level or the shell. The first energy level or the shell or orbital. Now this is a fixed path for the electron. Here only this electron can move around. This is the second energy level or the shell, and the third energy level or the shell. Right? So within the atom, these shells or energy levels are present, and electrons revolve or move in circular orbits in these fixed energy levels. So this is the model proposed by Bohr. And these energy levels or orbitals are represented either by 1, 2, 3, 4 or KLMN. At the center you can see the nucleus. Now what is it saying? That the electrons could revolve around the nucleus in only certain orbits or certain energy levels, each orbit having a different radius. The electrons in each orbit have a characteristic amount of energy. The electrons which are in orbits close to the nucleus have low energy, while those in the orbits farther from the nucleus have higher energy. See here, the electrons can move in the fixed circular orbit. Each orbit or energy level has got a fixed energy. Electron is not moving from one energy level to another energy level. And lastly, the electron in an electron in a particular energy level has got a fixed amount of energy or the characteristic energy. Right? This is what is proposed by Bohr. When an electron is revolving in a particular orbit or particular energy level around the nucleus, the electron does not radiate energy. This is saying that as it is moving in a fixed energy level, it is not at all radiating energy. And since the electrons do not lose energy while revolving in certain permitted orbits, they do not fall into nucleus, and hence atom remains stable. So what is the concept of Bohr? That the electrons are revolving in a fixed circular path, which is called as the energy level or the orbital. Now when the electron is moving in this orbital, it is not at all losing energy. An electron in a particular orbital has got a characteristic amount of energy. As the electron is not losing any energy, not emitting any radiation, so the atom becomes stable. He proposed the concept of fixed energy level or the fixed orbital, the fixed circular path, which is the orbital or the energy level. The change in the energy of an electron takes place only when it jumps from a lower energy level to a higher energy level, or when it comes down from a higher energy level to a lower energy level. See, when the electron is moving or jumping from this first energy level to the second energy level, it will need electron. The electron nearest to the nucleus has least energy. Right? See, electrons, when it is coming from infinity towards the nucleus, it is losing energy. Why so? Because there is a force of attraction between the electron and the nucleus. Within the nucleus lies the positively charged particle, that is the proton. Now when the electron is approaching it, there will be the force of attraction between them, due to which it loses energy. So the electron which is present nearest to the nucleus has got least energy. So the energy goes on increasing from first to the third or fourth energy levels. energy of electrons. Now when the electron is moving from a lower energy level to a higher energy level, how it can move? So when an electron absorbs energy, it moves from lower energy level to higher one. And when it moves back, say when it is moving back from a higher to a lower energy level, so higher energy level to lower energy level, it loses energy. So what Bohr suggests that the electrons are moving in circular orbits in fixed, or the electrons are moving in fixed circular paths called as the energy levels or shells or orbitals, and when they are moving in this fixed circular path, they are not losing energy. They are having a characteristic amount of energy. Right? When they absorb energy, they move from the lower energy level to the higher energy level. And when they come back from higher energy level to the lower energy level, they release energy or lose energy. The electron nearest to the nucleus has the least energy. So the concept of fixed circular path or the energy level was given by Bohr. Now as the electrons are not losing any energy, the atom becomes stable. Now the next point is, there is a limit to the number of electrons within each energy level. There is a limit to the number of electrons which each energy level can hold. That is, every energy level can have a fixed number of electrons, not more than that. Say for example, the first energy level, that is the K shell, can hold the maximum of 2 electrons, or the number of electrons in a particular shell can be given by the formula 2n square. Say for the K shell, it is the first energy level or the first shell, n will be equal to 1. And how many electrons it can hold? 2 into 1 square, and that comes out to be 2. Likewise, the second energy level can hold maximum of 8 electrons. That is 2 into 2 square, and that is equal to 8 electrons. The third energy level, that is M shell, can hold a maximum of 18 electrons. That is the M shell. It can hold how many electrons? 18 electrons. That is 2 into 3 square. And the fourth energy level can hold a maximum of 32 electrons. That is into 4 square. 2 into 4 square is 32 electrons. So there is a limit to which limit to the number of electrons which an orbital can hold. Now when an electron, see these are the postulates of Bohr. Now when an electron is moving in an orbit, it is said to have, or when it is not losing any energy, it has got a fixed energy. So when an electron, it continues to move in a particular stationary state without losing energy, and such a state of atom is called as ground or normal state. Say when an electron continues to move in a particular stationary state without losing energy. It should be LO, not LOO, without losing energy. Now this state of atom is called ground state. Say this is a nucleus, electrons are moving around it, and they are moving in this stationary state. Say 2 electrons in the K shell. There is L shell which is empty over here. Now when this atom gets energy, when it absorbs energy, the electron will also absorb energy and it moves to the higher energy state. Now electron cannot be there in this higher energy state. Now when it comes back, it loses that particular amount of energy, whatever it has absorbed. Now that comes out in the form of radiation. That is the reason why the radiation is given in UV region or visible region. That is how we are getting light. The electrons, they absorb energy, they move to the higher energy state, and when they come back, they emit that particular amount of energy. And the color of the light depends on the energy in which level they are radiating. Say it's in which region they are radiating, that is the visible or the ultraviolet. Right? See, the energy is equal to h nu. Nu is the frequency. So in whatever region they are emitting the radiation, the light which is seen will depend on it. So the radiation which is emitted by the electrons, this can be in UV region or in visible region or in infrared region. Right? So the energy of a particular light depends on its frequency. So students, this is actually the Bohr model of atom. Let's revise it. It has got the nucleus at the center. The nucleus consists of the protons and the neutrons. The electrons are revolving in the fixed circular path called as energy level or shell or orbitals. The electrons revolving in a particular energy level has a characteristic amount of energy. The electron which is nearest to the nucleus has got the least energy. The electrons, while revolving in an energy level, do not lose any energy, and the atom is said to be in a ground state. That is, the atom in which electrons are moving in their energy levels without losing energy is said to be in the ground state. Now when the atom absorbs energy, or the electrons will also absorb, obviously the electrons, they move from lower energy level to the higher energy level. When the electrons come back from the higher to the lower energy level, they release that much amount of energy. Now there is a limit to which each shell can hold the number of electrons. There is a limit to the number of electrons which each shell can hold, and it is given by 2n square. That is, the number of electrons which each shell can hold is given by 2n square, where n is the number of energy level or the orbital. So the first energy level can hold how many electrons? 2, that is the K shell. L shell can hold 8. M shell can hold how many? No, L shell can hold so the number of electrons in the K shell 2, in the L shell 8, in the M shell it is 18, and then M shell it will be 32. So this is the model of, or Bohr's model of atom. So I hope you have understood this Bohr model of atom, students, and also the drawback of the Rutherford's model. Now I'll be concluding this session, and in the next session we'll be discussing about the atomic number, the atomic mass, and also the valency of an atom. So now just go through the text, students, so that you can understand the concept of Rutherford's model of atom and also the alpha scattering experiment and the Bohr model of the atom. So thank you, students, for listening patiently, and do have a nice time ahead.